come on in. I can't hear you, Peggy. Let the people hear you. I said, now welcome to 4th and 1. Okay. I said, now welcome. Yeah. All right. Okay, now welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. Bringing facts. I said, now welcome. All right. We ready. Let's go. I said, now welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. Bringing facts by the time before the rising of the sun. This ain't me in the shot. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he back. With the attack. Ho. Hey. Oh, my goodness. Oh, but yeah. One more game. Bring a new friend. Let's begin. Boogie.
This is me in front of TV. I say this me in front of TV. Big Peggy in front of TV. Double D in front of TV. Jim. I say this me in front of TV. Can't forget about seashells in front of TV. My dog, big drop top in front of TV. BJ in front of TV. Big Boogie in front of TV. Having a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
The tune's brought to you by Thigh Pad Promotions.
Yeah, Thigh Pad Promotions. Man, I got tape on my pads. They was falling off. That's why I was tripping. My pad.
Peggy, this is gonna be one for the books right here.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Let's go. First down. I mean, it's only right, Peggy.
Mm-hmm.
You do the first down.
First down. Ball moment of the week. Here we go.
See what we got.
All right, Tyreek Hill runs a 10.15. All right, in a 100-meter dash, and he calls out none other than the fastest man in the world right now, Noah Lyles. Let's check him out. He grooving.
Whoa.
10.15. So he calls out Noah Lyles. Now, Noah's personal best in the 100-meter dash is 9.79. You know, there's so many elements in track. But do you think Tyreek really has a chance to beat Noah Lyles?
No, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Gosh.
No.
Straight out the gate.
Because, I mean, the math has to math.
Uh-huh.
You got a 10-1, which was impressive.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
But if you asking me, can he beat Noah? No. Especially when the numbers say that Noah ran a 9.7.
9.7. That ain't like a 10 flat and you got 10-1.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Nah.
But it's the elements.
But this is what you got to realize too about track. Mm-hmm. The slowest person probably ran like a 10.2 in that heat right there. Mm-hmm. And that's still moving.
That's facts.
Now, when you break up under the Nina, oh, Lord Jesus.
You're speeding. School zone.
Them guys are like moving with a purpose.
Yeah.
And somebody said, all right, Tyreek took it, like, let up. Nah, bro.
Because the people were saying, oh, he let up at the end.
Nah, bro.
You know, if he ran hard the whole way. So, and it's a difference between people that do it competitively and get paid for it versus like, I used to do it in high school. And not saying Tyreek is slow, but the last time he ran competitively was in high school.
Yeah, but Noah Lyles, this is his way of life.
This is livelihood.
Like, Tyreek doing this was just extracurricular activity.
Yeah.
If Noah Lyles loses to Tyreek Hill, you extract your career. Mm-hmm. You evaporate everything that you worked for.
Yeah. Because he said, like, even on Funky Friday, he was like, yo, if he called me out, I'm willing to, I'll race him. We can
is this not him calling him out?
Yes, this is. We got to see that. We got to.
I really don't want to see it, though.
You think it's going to be a smoke show?
I think it's going to be a smoke show.
Eat my dust.
Like, you're real tired. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, fellow Georgia boy Tyreek Hill, but, bro, you just got to stay in your lane on this.
That ain't it.
And then for everybody who in Florida talking about, man, Florida got speed. Man, listen, ain't nobody in the league faster than the Georgia boy by the name of Tyreek Hill. So y'all Floridians, y'all Texans, and y'all Californians, like, bro, Georgia produces athletes. You dig what I'm saying? That wasn't the only race that went viral this week, Peg.
It's another race that went viral too. iShowSpeed and Ashton Hall. Mr. Routine Man.
Delusional.
What's everybody
You scared because all your image is over with.
What's everybody saying?
All his Instagram image is over with. He not fast. You lost 3 times to me.
Come on.
You slow, my boy.
Why are you leaving?
Take
if
your
you're
L.
faster than me, why are you leaving?
Because I beat you 3 times.
So Ashton Hall lost to iShowSpeed 3 times. So as we seen with Ashton Hall with the routine, but also him running outside of the car with somebody, you know, with the cameras and all that. But when the rubber meet the road.
Man, let me tell you something, bro. We are living in a day and age where you're gonna have to put up or shut up.
Boy, and they gonna figure it out.
Now, granted, let's acknowledge that there's an obvious weight difference here
Okay.
with Ashton Hall and iShowSpeed. But if you claiming that you fast, they don't got no weight limit in track.
No, they don't.
You don't see folks saying, okay, in this 100 meters, we're going to do the 90 pound or the 150 pound. Like, nah, bro, if you fast, you fast. No matter how many biceps, triceps, gluteus maximus, quads.
If you're fast, no matter the mass, okay?
And if you ain't first,
You're last. Talk to him.
So, Ashton, my guy, I'm going to put you in the category with our distinguished gentleman, Peggy.
Oh, please. This is a world-class athlete right here.
A world ass athlete.
Man, please. I'm balling, baby.
Can I say that?
Balling.
That ain't cursing this.
No.
Okay, cool. I just making sure, people.
Athlete, but that ain't me.
Yeah, I'm done. But this is what made it worse.
Talk.
Bro, take your elbow and go on, because now I don't know if anybody else caught this.
What's up?
But iShowSpeed was talking greasy to that guy.
Yeah.
Talking greasy to that guy.
Yeah, no hair.
Your image is tarnished. You ain't nothing. You slow. I already done beat you. You got all these cheerleaders around you. And he definitely had. And the commentary back, let's go, Ashton. Like, man, listen, bro. Girlfriend, baby mama, wife, homeboy, daddy ain't gonna save you in that war, dog.
Nah, bro.
Nah.
Mano.
No. So,
all that working out.
man, y'all just stick to your routine, homeboy.
There you go. Stay the course.
You
Stick
know
to
what I'm
your
saying?
routine.
Keep taping your mouth and shh.
Dumping your face in water.
Keep doing that. You know, I hope you got some type of with the Sarasota water, whatever that.
Saratoga.
I know they stock was crazy because of you. But all that's just for good content. Mm-hmm. When you start having to perform, big dog, we don't care how many burpees you can do. We don't care how you look. You know what I'm saying? Old body and all that, man. You what we call a show pony.
What they say, look like Tarzan, hit like Jay.
Man, listen, you in the category with Peggy.
No, baby.
Like, you a show pony. Because
show.
when it comes down to performing, because the verdict was out when he went viral.
Yeah.
He was like, man, who is this cat?
He must be some guy.
Yeah, who is this guy? They done went back into my archives. See, one thing about the internet,
They gonna find you. Huh?
it's undefeated.
Boy.
Man, my boy went to Alcorn State. Since man, listen, bro. All them, man, you running next to DJ Khaled. You done got, you know what I'm saying, videos with Mr. Beast, all that. You are a good content guy. But when it comes to performing, and yes, I have the right to say that because, listen, Doc, anybody can do what I'm doing right now, and I'm going to talk. And I'm going to talk it. Mm-hmm. And everybody can't create content. Well, everybody can create content, but are you consistent?
And is it good content?
Is it good content? Now, you do make good content that make everybody be like, hold on.
Hold on now.
Does this really work?
I know.
But understanding that if he's recording something that he deems is 4 a.m., somebody, who's setting up the tripod? Who getting them feel like who doing that? So somebody had to have woke up to let you know, all right, bro, let's come on, let's put 2 and 2 together, ladies and gentlemen. Some ain't adding up. I mean, he got his quads out, hamstrings, calves. You know, he got the sleeves. People serving him. Look, hold up. Keep the camera right there. Hold up. Keep the camera right there. He just got this. Then he got the massage and all. That ain't real. I'm sorry. It's not real. And then when you have to do real things, you get exposed, bro.
You get real outcomes.
You gonna get we gonna see.
Your feelings get real hurt.
Look, bro. Everybody knows this who actually plays football.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
He got meathead written all over him.
Just a gym guy.
We all got them on the football field.
He looked the part. He the intimidator from the side.
He the one that get off the bus first.
Okay, set the tone.
Get off the bus first, bro. Like, let them know, like, take your shirt off, like, like, this. Hey, Double D or Jimbo, this is where you insert the Little Giants intimidation. Oh, that's cool. Until, bro, you got put all that Saratoga away.
Yeah.
Put all them lemon limes and them ice cubes away. Curbs for the folks from Memphis. Put all them, man, listen, dog. When you trying to run, hey, let's rock and roll now. When you trying to perform, let's rock and roll now. Yeah. The rubber meet the road, like all them excuses. Oh, man, I slipped. Oh, man, I failed. Man, let's run on the road. Bro, you lost to a streamer. Oh, goodness. I ain't gonna beat him.
Come on, don't beat him out of that.
I ain't gonna beat him out of that, but I wouldn't be me if I don't keep it a buck.
Okay.
I'm just saying to y'all, like, bro, y'all think performing at a high level is something that you can fabricate, that you could just swallow a pill or go to a doctor to get, instant results. It don't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. Content is mastered over time and edited a lot of times before you actually see it.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you, bro.
Did I make my point, Peggy?
I mean, crystal clear.
So while we also do have the people's attention, now we can veer off and dun, 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 dun. Can you remind the people, instruct the people, and tell the people, Peggy, get back, like, share, comment, and make sure they do what?
Subscribe, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think we like to get good content over here, too.
Yeah, I think so, too.
You know what I'm saying? And keep people coming back. Yeah. Who else? Let me see. Drop top, step up to the mic. You know what I'm saying? Groove and skip to my loo and let the people know. Tell the people. Instruct the people. Make sure they like, make sure they share, make sure they share, make sure they like, make sure they like, make sure they share, make sure they share, make sure they like, make sure they comment. But drop top, make sure they do what? Subscribe, dog. Yeah.
I like that dog. Yeah. Sound like his boots on the ground.
I like it. Oh, I get my boots on the ground. Yeah. I'm fresh.
Come on. Base is loaded, boo.
I'm trying to tell you.
The base is loaded.
Well, we going to bring it on in.
Come on, man.
And now we're going to tell my dog, Big Jimbo, not the little one. He is playing hurt right now because he limp up to the mic. Run up to the mic because, Jimbo, we need to bring this thing on in. Tell the people, instruct the people, text the people, email the people.
Okay.
Send you a first-class mail and let them know. Like, share, comment. But, Jimbo, make sure they do what? Subscribe! Dog! I love it. It's music to my ears. It's music to my ears. Woo.
Jimbo slice.
Can we get started now?
Yes, sir.
Lord Jesus, I done worked up a sweat.
Yeah.
Because people just be People just be peopling.
Okay.
You know
You
what
gotta
I'm
let
saying?
people now.
And we talked about people creating good content. I would like to say we're creating good content.
Great
over
content,
here.
great content. Don't
You
good
know, we
us.
already done
Great.
told you to subscribe. We already done told you to like. We already done told you to comment. All that razzle dazzle. You know what I'm saying? This particular individual has a lot to explain. And I mean, because I've been complaining from day one. Head ass. Peggy!
What's good, bud? Yeah! Come on now. Yes, Husky.
I don't even know.
Where to start, huh?
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say he does have a helmet on. Notre Dame, they got the golden domers. Well, my dog Peggy got the melanin domers.
There you go.
Peggy,
Oh, the Mr. Cleans
what
out
in the F-U-C-K? Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, insert emoji. You got going on over there?
Bro, we talking about jerseys. We talking about vintage. This a vintage piece. You know what I'm saying? This that Northeast middle school, you know, jersey. This is my middle school jersey. You know, so I went back home. I seen this in the barn. You know what I'm saying? They call it the outhouse, the storage unit. I said, oh man, I got to. And I had my pads that went with it. When I put this thing on, I said, bro, I got to bring it out of retirement. You know what I'm saying? So when people say, I'm from somewhere, I balled out, where your jersey at, player? Where your jersey at? And that's how I'm rocking. You know what I'm saying? And all them people that say you can still fit your middle school stuff, that's when the pads are super big. They make all these close pads now. Back then, your pads was like out here, and my pants was big, so that's why I still can rock them. You know what I'm saying? I still got the, right there, all in there. That's duct tape, by the way, keeping them in there. You feel me? So this throwback, this vintage. This is one-on-one, literally. Number
It's
11.
so fitting that you say duct tape. Tape for a duck.
Yeah, all right.
Because any Northeast coach ever was looking for the jersey number 11, it is right here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm sorry, I'm snitching. Come on, somebody come get this jersey.
Yeah, bro, he dry snitching, bro. He dry snitching.
Because y'all been, it's like, man, what? I want number 11 coat. Man, we ain't got him. Weirdo done stole it a couple of years ago. We ain't had it there.
Man, I ain't had to steal it. They wanted to give it to me.
You know what I'm saying?
the
We
practice
can't relate to this, Peggy.
This the practice jersey.
Because I couldn't wear none of my jerseys.
Why? Why not, bro?
Because they retired. They in the rafters
Man,
somewhere.
please, man. Yeah, all right. In his room at his house. That's all he. That's
They in the
rafter.
rafter somewhere. They getting dust.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
dust,
saying? Yours was in the outhouse. Mine was in the penthouse. All the way at the top.
Haters gonna hate. Some people gonna
I ain't
congratulate.
gonna hate, but Peggy, while we talking with your Get Back jersey on, Get Back All-American. Y'all, man, come on, man. Coach gonna get mad, man. Get back, bro. Get back. Yes, sir, Coach. Behind the line. Behind the line.
Everybody hate, bro.
Come on, bro.
Everybody hate.
How was
bro.
your weekend, Peggy?
Man, the weekend, man, was good, man. I got to tap in with the fam, you know, seen some of them classics, came back with them, but, man, was able to go back to Charlotte, see my family. So it was good, bro. Just, you know, getting your center, spending some needed time, my nieces and nephews, and shout out to my brother. And it was Father's Day weekend, so I was able to spend some time with them, you know what I mean? And happy Father's Day to you and all the fathers that was out there, you know? You know, I ain't a father, but they call me daddy. You feel me?
That's cool. You welcome, son.
Oh, please. Sack fighter.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it was Father's Day weekend, man. Shout out to the fathers that's out there. You know what I'm saying? The real fathers, not just the dads.
You're not just
Anybody can be a dad.
a donor.
You know what I'm saying? But there's folks that probably can't produce or reproduce, but they're still father figures
Facts.
to a lot of men out there. Yeah.
Man, what you got
I couldn't wait.
going? I see you got we all going retro. You got the starter Braves. We repping our cities, huh?
You know what I mean?
Talk to me, bud.
This was old Bobby Cox, Chipper Jones, Tom Glavine, Javier Lopez, who else? Fred McGriff, Marquise Grissom, Andrew Jones, John Smokes. Come on, Peggy.
That's throwback.
Listen, bro.
That's
Listen.
That's the old Brave Stadium.
I'm trying to tell you, this was a Turner Field, Braves.
Turner Field. Turn up Turner Field.
I'm trying to tell
Keep
you.
it real on the field.
Y'all know that by Georgia State football field. Now I'm talking about Turner Field. Swag is immaculate per usual. My weekend was nothing less than extraordinary.
Yeah. What you getting?
What I do? Oh, we capped off unbelievable Scary Hours event, 3-on-3. Shout out to Destroying for that. Game Breaker, you know what I'm saying, for tapping in and helping us. Content will be dropping soon. What else? Oh, Hell Week, took the kids through, what it's like to be a baller, shot caller. You know what I'm saying? Pick up and pack up the BS in the U-Haul.
Oh, hold on now.
Peggy, listen. At this particular point in time,
Talk to him, bro.
I just got the word play.
Okay.
I'm good with the words.
U-Hauler?
I'm trying to tell you.
What you want me now, but I might stall him?
Yeah,
Come
you know
on,
what I'm saying?
Hey.
Come on, move and groove and moonwalker.
Ooh. You saying you calling shots, but I'm the shot caller.
Okay, cool.
Talk to him, bud.
We gonna flip the words, but you gonna bear it, but I'm a Paula.
Oh, I'm gone. I'm dead.
Because we killing them, Peggy.
You killing him.
We killing them.
killing
And this
them.
is the thing.
What's up?
People would think that we rehearsed this.
We did it.
That Wi-Fi gonna stay.
Booming.
You dig what I'm saying? It's gonna stay lit, baby. That's what I'm saying. See, that's a lost art these days. Folks don't even know how to put them together. Them words.
Them nouns and verbs.
That's cool. Y'all over here talking about, man, Cam be doing the most. Why he be doing all this? Man, what is Cam? Listen here. You bring your girl around me, and it ain't even that I'm going to be hitting on her, but she going to catch a vibe so radiant. You hear that word, Peggy? Radiant. It's going to be like, ooh.
What a website.
What is this? Who is he?
And how does he do it?
I'm trying to tell you, Peggy, stick with me. You're going to win.
Nah, stick with me,
You're
bro.
going to win. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm a real player, bro. Down to the jerseys, you feel me?
I'm still not done explaining how my weekend went.
Okay, well, how was your weekend?
Stay in your lane, Peggy. You had your little 15 seconds of fame.
What?
What else? Father's Day happened. Man, I went to church.
Okay.
And this is the thing, dog. Everybody see me, and they don't understand how Cam was created. And I'm going to take this time to really show love to my hero, Cecil Newton.
Yeah. Shout
Hell
out
of
to
a
Pop.
man. Hell of a man. Yeah, hell of a man. Yeah, because silent profile, all that. See, my dad didn't have no instruction manual. And I'm a, what I say? I am just a product of what his vision was. So for the men that's out there who have father figures, and the father figures that have good intentions, I was the kid that, you was gonna earn your keep as a teacher.
Me too.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
You was gonna earn your keep as a coach. And if them two didn't, they earn their check, my daddy and my mama and my grandma, boy, they was gonna, boy, I put all the gray hair in their hair.
You did, huh?
You down there?
Or make them lose their hair, huh?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Keep that helmet on.
Come
baby.
on, I got my helmet. I'm about to go
But
heads
yeah,
up.
man, shout out to my pop, man. Pop,
Man,
bro,
shout out to Pop, man.
he's a guy, and I just wish. I got just one issue with this world that we live in.
What is it?
I don't appreciate how we put so much emphasis on Mother's Day, as if to say the fathers just get a card.
Pack of socks.
Man, we went to eat, and there was so many open tables available.
For real?
Oh,
On Mother's Day, you can't even get
Mother's
in the
Day, you
place.
can't even get a parking spot, let alone a seat at the table.
Yeah. Oh, my
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Kids ain't even call me. They just gonna send me a little text like I was just sending them little texts. Like here, like I try. Man, don't worry about it. It was expected.
It was expected.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what I got to look forward to?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, Peggy.
Oh, man. Maybe they going to do a barbecue for me.
Tell you, Pat. No, they ain't.
Yeah, they ain't.
Peggy ain't do no barbecue for me.
I'm about to cook it. That's what I'm about to do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Weekend was smooth.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, man. So let's get on into it.
I got to say something, too, though.
Well, talk to me.
On the Father's Day, just for the people, too, because we got to say this. For the people that did have lost their fathers, you know what I'm saying? Much love to you. That's one of me, too, as well. So didn't have my father on Father's Day, but my tribe showed up. Obviously, you know, reached out to you just saying Happy Father's Day. But all the good people, uncles, other men that serve as a father figure. So if you have lost a father, you lost somebody, you know what I'm saying? Keep your head up. Keep your hope alive. And there is people around you that still do love you. So, man, much love to those people as well. So I got to do my due diligence.
You welcome, Peggy.
Man,
Here we go. Next clip.
All right, man. AI, Allen Iverson, the answer is set up for success and maybe even generational wealth. All right, Allen Iverson team reportedly set up 2 blind trusts for him during his NBA career. One matured when he reached the age 25, and the other matured at the age of 50. So we got him at 2 different times. After turning 50 this last week, he just gained access to $50 million. So Cam, obviously at the age of 25 or earlier than that at an early age, knowing that you have money waiting on you, you know, it might be tough for somebody early on to be like, what, I got to wait for my money? But now at the age of 50, getting a $50 million check cashed in is looking pretty, bro. So what do you think? And, you know, just talk about his team and those things, those parameters that was set in place, you know, for an athlete, because before him, he is the first millionaire in his family, just like so many other black athletes.
Mm-hmm. Just athletes as a whole.
Athletes in general.
Yeah, like look at a situation like Allen Iverson, and it goes to what I always have said. Bad guidance could kill you.
Elaborate on that.
Like for the people who are taking information from people who have never been in that situation, or doesn't have the mental telepathy to really insert themselves in its accurate like to understand what an individual have to go through being the first.
Yeah.
I can't speak to a lot of cultures and ethnic groups and races and things, but when I'm talking, I'm speaking as a black man, being the first to not only be a millionaire, just to have $100,000, $10,000 that you could just touch.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough, bro.
Yeah.
Because the you have this survivor's remorse almost that you feel obligated to help your mom, help your dad, help your homeboy, help your brother, help your cousin, help your uncle, help your auntie, help your partner, help your coach. Like, man, it's too. Sometimes you just gotta help yourself, bro.
Yeah.
And shout out to whoever set up this blind trust for this, you know, legend of Allen Iverson, because there's a lot of guys that have access at one part of their life to a lot of money, and then it's
over with.
It just vanishes.
I wanted to ask one question, though, Cam. Even with this, Allen Iverson, when this trust was set up, he was so young. And for you, even, you know, when you came into money, you were young. Like, how do you know who to trust? And then even when people are advising you, because every advisor isn't a good advisor. Like you said, there's people that's handling your money might take your money, but how do you humble yourself enough or can find people to trust to say, like, you know what, go ahead and do that. I don't know about it. I don't know money like you might know it, but I'm trusting you to figure it out for me.
You ready for this one, Peggy?
Yeah.
You will never know until you're faced with that situation. Only time will tell. Here we go, second down, questionable call of the week. Let's see what we got, Peg.
All right, we got trouble brewing in Cincinnati, and that's the Bengals. Shemar Stewart is having some issues with the Bengals, all right? So Stewart has made it clear that he won't do anything until the Bengals sign him. The two sides continue to be at odds regarding language in his contract regarding voiding of any guarantees if he is out of bounds or goes against anything that the team permits within behavior or conduct. And so Rich Eisen had a chance to kind of really ask the questions to break down what is the language and what's the issues going on.
What is happening with Shemar Stewart? What is in that contract that caused a rookie to call out the team for putting more energy in winning arguments than games before he leaves camp?
It boils down to this. The Bengals are trying to set a new precedent in terms of their contract language, putting in, and it's complicated, but the simplest way I can describe it is default language, that if you mess up once, it voids the rest of your contract. They have not historically had that language in their contracts. They have not had that forfeiture language, that default language in place. They're trying to put it in the contract now. They did it across all their rookie deals. The NFL Players Association in the past, there was a big issue several years ago when a bunch of teams tried to do this, and the NFLPA advised all the agents, hey, don't let your guys sign this, because the moment that one first-round pick signs it, that then has the precedent that everybody else, until the end of time, is going to have that same language in their contract. Does it come up very often? No. You see every now and then somebody commits a violation and they could void their contract, and if you have specific language in there, that can happen. All of it boils down to this, Rich. This should not be as big of an issue as it is. And there is a point at which this is detrimental to everybody involved. But you also can see it from the Bengals' perspective of, hey, we want our language to mirror what other teams around the NFL are doing. Abdul Carter was drafted at number 3. He's got this language. From Shemar Stewart's perspective, or his agent Zach Hiller, it's, okay, that's fine, but the Giants have always had that language in. You're trying to make our guy the first one to take this language. So for now, and Shemar Stewart, left on the final day of minicamp yesterday. We'll see where this goes in the next 5 weeks or so. None of this is getting the Bengals any better at playing football at a time that they also are in a spat with their, the NFL's reigning sack leader, Trey Hendrickson. Sam Hubbard retired in the offseason. For Bengals defense that gets a lot better, every rep missed, particularly for a guy like Shemar Stewart, doesn't help you win football games in 2025. If they came to Shemar Stewart tomorrow and offered him the exact same contract language that Amarius Mims, their first-round pick last year, had, Shemar Stewart would sign. I think this is one thing that fans don't necessarily understand, is that every team has different historical structures. They have different contract language. It is not blanket across the league. Different teams have different clauses.
Cam, as a rookie coming in, you want to make sure your business is right. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure your contract is right. The Cincinnati Bengals are trying to make Shemar Stewart be the first person in their franchise to sign a deal like this with this language. How should this be handled? Who's in the wrong, who's in the right?
Look, a lot of people have, voiced their opinion from their perspective, and I see it from both sides, right? I see it in the situation where the Cincinnati Bengals, ownership or management is looking at it where it's like, hey, we want to hold you accountable to your actions. As a professional, this is how we hold you accountable. Gone are the days for athletes to get punished and say, you know what, in college we can just punish you with, early morning workouts. Or nowadays, well, we've seen last week that they're punishing them with docking their pay.
Yeah, facts.
Well, this is no different. And this is what I want everybody to understand. Even though you may be a Cincinnati Bengals fan, even though you may be a Dallas Cowboys fan, you may be a Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, Los Angeles Lakers, it doesn't matter the sport. Before the sport, it is a what, Peggy?
A business.
It's a business. So every negotiation takes on its own life. Mm-hmm. And in this situation, you have a young man that says, like, no, I'm not going for that.
I'm not trying to be the guinea pig.
No, don't do that. You try this with somebody else. Try this next year.
Yeah.
Because from the athlete standpoint, there's a lot of times where athletes are targets, right? And I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, you have a domestic dispute. Mm-hmm. And domestic dispute doesn't always involve a male and a female. Correct. A domestic dispute can happen internally in your household.
Yeah, fighting with your brother.
You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you could potentially lose everything because of a speculation.
That's true.
Now, granted, there's also things that you just flat out stupid. If I was a athlete, knowing what I know now, I would take my money and I invest in a driver. You got the money. I will invest. Bruh, I'm an investment. What Jay-Z say? I'm a business man. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So even with that, we see it happen all the time, especially in the off season. You see guys get into scuffles at clubs and things like that. Hire security. You ain't got to keep going back and forth with all that riffraff.
Yeah.
Huh? You know, have you a person that's always as a buffer in your life. And sometimes you can't help dodging an issue that's coming. And that contract clause could crumble everything right before your eyes, even if it wasn't your fault. So I see both sides where you have accountability from the ownership, but also you're saying, no, I'm not going to risk that because all situations may not always be my fault.
That's real. And it's up to y'all discretion. Let me go if you don't like what you
dig what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's always a situation where, you know, this is life-changing money. Yeah. I can't play with myself like that. I can't let y'all play with me like that. Mm-hmm. So before we handle the football side, we're going to handle this business side first. Yeah. And that's where it comes down to. So no matter how you want to judge the character from the ownership to the players, that's really what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. It's a negotiation tactic. Which one going to bend?
Yeah, that's real.
Which one going to give up and say, you know what, all right, cool. Because if I'm, you know, the athlete on this side, y'all ain't did this before.
So why are you trying to do it?
No, don't do that with me.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the interesting fact is, well, the Bengals can say, well, if you ain't going to sign it, well, it is what it is.
But speaking about that, if the Bengals do not sign Stewart this year, he can sit out for the season, opt out, and then actually get redrafted.
One of the weirdest NFL rules could lead to this 2025 first-round pick re-entering the draft again next year. Yeah, there's a little-known rule that's been uncovered thanks to Bengals rookie Shemar Stewart's holdout, where if he refuses to sign with the Bengals and sits out the entire season, he technically can re-enter the NFL draft in 2026. And as crazy as sitting out an entire season to re-enter the draft sounds, the rule gets even weirder. Say he refuses again to sign with the team that drafts him in the 2026 draft. He can sit out another full season, and right after the 2027 draft, he'd be an undrafted free agent. So technically, if a player really wants to control where they play, they can sit out for 2 years after being drafted and then be an unrestricted free agent and sign with the team of their choosing. Now, sitting out 2 full seasons does feel a little extreme. There's probably a reason we've never seen a player do it. But if Shemar Stewart and the Bengals aren't able to come to terms and he holds out this entire season, he could be re-entering the draft again in 2026.
Shout out to New Kent.
Kent.
4th and 1 Kent. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a good point to be had, but he ain't getting no younger.
He ain't, and that's the hard part about it.
And the reason why you got drafted was because of the upside of what you showed on film. Mm-hmm. If you wait that long, that's not to say that it can't be done, but 2 years sitting out,
time
is heavy. But it goes back to, man, listen, we negotiate. Facts. You know what I'm saying? And when you're thinking about from Shemar's take, like bro, are you willing to wait that long?
Mm-hmm. To play.
Not just to play, to get paid.
You're going to need a job.
You need the J-O-B. J-O-B. You hear me? Yeah. It's tough, man. But, you know, hopefully it'll work out for him, man. It's one of those situations that if you do sign that, though, Mr. Stewart, understand that everybody after you will have to abide by that. So sometimes being the sacrificial lamb is tough. The road that ain't never been paved is gonna be a little rocky.
Okay, little bumpy.
But sometimes you gotta put your big toe east and put your big toe west.
Do what?
And stand on business.
Come on now.
Here we go, next clip.
All right, man. Talking about things that's tough, man. Tom Brady gets honest about fatherhood and being an athlete, and an exceptional athlete at that.
When I think about being a dad, I think about him because of what my dad meant to me. And I know I'm not as good a dad to my kids that my dad's been to me. And I use them as my example as to how to keep a family together and to care and to support and to love. And
we want our kids to be happy. I want them to be respectful of people. I want them to be kind. I want to make the world a better place. I think maybe what I'd wish for my children is to find something they really love to do like I have. But I think I've taken it to an extreme too, you know. There are imbalances in my life, and you know, I hope they don't take things as far as I've taken them.
Yeah.
I want them to experience great success in whatever they do, but there's a torment about me that I don't wish upon them.
There is an imbalance in me, and I took it too far. So obviously that's Brady, is him, you know, being laser focused on being the best quarterback and player he can be in the world, in history.
Bro, it's tough, dog, because people who can't relate won't understand.
Yeah, because that you all have a different type of job. It's not off on holidays and weekends.
Nah, bro.
And you have to perform each day, each and every day. You have to put a certain level of time, focus in you all's job. It's a performance-based job. So talk about being a professional athlete, and not just a regular, but like a premier athlete. And something has to take the back seat, and sometimes that's fatherhood. So just talk about that.
Yeah, bro, like, greatness costs. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, like, greatness cost. It's gonna cost you something. You have to sacrifice something. Time. We only get 24 hours. But with that, you may be sacrificing your relationship with your son. You may be sacrificing your relationship with your daughter. Yeah. You may be sacrificing your relationship with your wife or your girlfriend or your significant other or family members.
Oh.
So even though Tom Brady, and I appreciate him for being vulnerable in that moment, because that's real. I know what that feels like. Mm-hmm. Being away from your kids, where you feel stripped, you feel empty, you feel like your battery pack for what refills you and replenishes you and charges you up, you're not able to have that.
Yeah.
And the world is celebrating you, but in private, you're suffering. Like, I know what that means, bro. So, yeah, here's the greatest football player of all time now has lost his household to a person who had time to give his ex-wife the attention that she wanted and desired. So much so that they just started a whole nother family for themselves. So what do you say about that? You got 6, 7 Super Bowls, 10 appearances, all that. If you ask him, would you repay that just to have your family stay together? Who knows what he would say? Yeah. But greatness comes with a price. Mm-hmm. I always say this. I've never met a great coach who was a great dad. Yeah. And I've never met a great dad who was a great coach. Something like, typically, good coaches are just, performance-wise, they don't perform. Yeah. I mean, you could tell, you could have family day every Saturday on the walkthrough. Yeah, but man, that's just a moment in time. What about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Yeah. It's tough, dog. So be careful, like what you're asking for. Man, I want money. Well, everybody want money. Man, I want to be the best. And I understand what comes with being the best.
It's lonely, huh?
The pursuit of that alone, you will lose yourself and people along the way. Here we go, next clip.
All right, here we are with our football scholarships, easier to get than basketball scholarships. And so somebody breaks it down on, hey, you need to play football over basketball if you're trying to go to the next level. And here's why.
High school football season is fastly approaching. And if you're watching this and you play strictly basketball and you are under 6'3", I am encouraging you to go out and try out for your high school football team. Because 9 times out of 10, you are wasting your time playing strictly basketball. And I guarantee you that your high school football coach will welcome you with open arms to play the game of football. I know you're going to talk about the physicality. I know you're going to talk about the chances of getting hurt. But I guarantee you, if you have a little slither of athleticism, these college coaches are going to come knocking your door down, and they're also going to give you time to develop playing the game of football. When it comes to basketball, when you watch this on TV, NBA, college basketball, it's becoming harder and harder to get a Division I scholarship playing the game of basketball. And it's almost impossible to make it to the NBA. But when it comes to football, they're giving out scholarships left and right.
Press pause. No, they ain't giving out scholarships left and right.
That's the word on the street.
Yeah.
They giving out scholarship for football left and right.
I get it. It's what he should have said is only 5 people can be on the basketball court for their respective team at once. It could be 11 people
on the
that
football.
could be on.
There's just more opportunities.
More opportunity, yeah.
Yeah. And shout out to D-Rich TV.
Yeah, I get that. Man, listen, I respect the content, but the message is a little. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's one specific drill that have turned more football players to basketball players by just inserting this drill. Once you hear Oklahoma drill,
that's definitely why they stayed
it done turned more basketball play or football players to basketball players than any other coach or any other situation. Because, bro, you gotta bang. I mean, and listen, depending on the coach, you go in there.
You move it out the way.
No, boy. Beep, beep. Go again.
Facts.
Go again. I love going to my son's football practice because daddy ain't gonna save you. I don't even coach my sons in football. And I give every single one of my coaches who coach my son full clearance to do what they got to do. Now, there's a line. Don't get it wrong. There's a line that has to be crossed and drawn. But other than that, outside of respect, go and do what you got to do, coach. Because I'm going to tell you like this. If you think they're giving away football scholarships by the boatload, no, you still got to be good, bro.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I'm saying? You just can't Euro step out there. You definitely can't flop. You definitely can't call no foul. Because that's a foul in basketball.
Facts.
That's just you just trying to run your little route in football.
You right.
You see what I'm saying?
You're right.
Man, please. You tell them basketball players to come out there at football field if you want to. And try to skip to Malou and do some hot sauce and once if you want to. You better wear your butt pad, your hip pad, your knee pad, your mouthpiece, and you better tighten your chin strap up.
Come on, I still got my pads on. That's what turned me.
And you better not come out there looking like Peggy.
Please, you better not. 'Cause that's when I went to the hardwood.
Let me tell you something, bro. You go out there thinking that it's a joke and you thinking it is all easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and you gonna be somebody else's lemonade.
Oh, nah.
Here we go, third down, fan question of the week. Let's see what we got, Peg.
Here we go. We got Coach Mack. First up said, could the guys of the late 2000s and below play in this new era of football and targeting? You know, obviously they call more flags nowadays than they did before. So could those guys in the early 2000s and even earlier than that play in this era of football?
Yeah.
Why so?
The game hasn't changed outside of player safety has risen more. Back in the day, they didn't care too much about player safety. That's why they got sued and had so many lawsuits.
Gladiators.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they tried to change the game. Look, we're going to kick the ball and ain't nobody can touch it until the return to touch it. And yeah, the game has changed. Athletes have changed. They are now creating these athletes in a laboratory somewhere, because when you got 6'6", 6'7", massive human beings running just as fast as they did run back in the day in the early 80s and the 90s when you was 5'5" and you was considered quick, man, please. But it ain't the amount of equipment and barricades that could protect you from getting whooped.
So what now?
Whooped. You know what I mean? Could they play? Yeah, they could play. But just understand, now my thing is too, could the athletes during that time play with the athletes now?
Body structure's changed.
It-
the speed of the game
Come
has
on,
changed.
bro. We ain't considering that.
That's
See, if you had access to hit like a Ronnie Lott, well, what it would look like for a Cam Chancellor to just tee off on you? Huh? Think about that. Put Cam Chancellor in that era of football. James Harrison. What would that look like? Now, granted, now there's some OGs, and, you know, Too Tall, Eddie Too Tall John, like all of them, like that's cool and all, but man,
Them boys came.
you know what I'm saying? Mike Allstott and all them
Not all
using their head like an old battering ram. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jerome. Like that's cool and all, but in this day and age, how the game has changed, we see Derrick Henry. Man, you gonna have to you gotta be able to catch and block.
Bro, your skills gonna have to be better, and you
The
got to
game
move
has
faster.
changed. I'm not saying that they couldn't.
Yeah,
Even though the game has changed, the athletes have changed too.
but I don't even know if the athletes now are tough enough to even play in that era. Then
Okay. Are you asking an athlete who played in this era that I couldn't play in the 80s?
were you a little different though?
No. But this is what I'm saying, because there's other athletes that can transition and
think
play in
like
multiple
you said,
eras.
other athletes. I mean, you was built like a DN.
That's cool. I ain't dodging no smoke.
It's just a mentality thing.
It's a mentality at this particular point. And I do think some athletes or football players could play in
sure.
other eras. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the question is, does that other era have the skill set
And I think it's a few
to play in
select
this
few.
era?
I think it's select few.
Because, you know, when you start doing, that wasn't who Michael Irvin was. Jerry Rice, he wasn't all at the line of scrimmage. You know, Jerry Rice was silky smooth.
You got some people that can still play in all eras.
No, for sure.
You know,
But to be effective in all,
Effective.
there's a mighty
That's a
few, and it's
difference.
always gonna be contingent on, you know, who's the thought process, who the opinion is coming from.
that's true. That's real.
Here we go, next clip.
All right. They say the best HBCU football team you know, seen, or ever heard of.
Well, I mean,
I gotta go with Grambling. Grambling had some teams back in the day. I gotta put my own school on NCCU. We beat Jackson State for the national championship.
yeah, bro, but y'all lost 4 games that year.
We won when it count.
That's cool.
But the best team, Jackson State is known to have. I mean, not Jackson State, but Grambling is known to have teams historically that's been good in the past. South Carolina State has been good.
For sure.
And then I would even say if you're going CIAA, Shaw and Winston-Salem State have been known to have some good.
I'm going with Deion Sanders, Jackson State.
Jackson State. They
Yeah.
didn't win. You know,
It
they won
didn't
their
matter if they
conference.
win the most talented.
Talented.
That's what I
It
read.
says the best HBCU football team.
The best was the Jackson State.
Tigers.
Shedeur Sanders, Jackson State. Travis Hunter, Jackson State. And Travis wasn't even reportedly healthy the whole time that he was there.
Yeah.
And he was young. I ain't, you know, no disrespect, but man, listen here. The same person was still top 10 pick.
For sure.
So
For sure.
that's the best to me.
That's what your best team.
Next clip.
All right, big_grip91 says, why do D coordinators always run that BS zone in clutch time? It always leads to them losing.
I need a little
You
bit
need
more
context to that.
Yeah, but because we all have tendencies.
Yeah.
And that's why you watch film. That's why you review what the other team is trying to do. And the great film, you know, guys who watch film, they don't always watch what the players are going to do. That's one element of it. But the other element of it is, what is the signal caller or the play caller going to do? All right, example. In a gotta-have-it situation, there's multiple different type of philosophies to attack a defense. Do you attack it with pressure, or do you attack it with cloud in the field? Cloud in the field is, you know, 3rd and 4, Do you bring pressure where it's a zero blitz and boom, you got to get the ball out fast? Or do you allow him to sit back in the coverage and boom? Or do you just play man-to-man and throw off timing and hope that your pass rush can get there? It's different things that you could do. So this take is a little yeah, because there's multiple. Mike Tomlin, Harbaugh and them, man, they're not waiting. They're like, they ain't going to sit back in no coverage now. They're going to let them dogs eat.
Yeah.
Huh? Here we go, 4th down. Newton's Law. Ooh, what you got for me, Peggy?
Boy, we got somebody about to be stacked up against some greats. If it goes down tonight and Oklahoma City Thunder win the NBA Finals, does SGA stack up against some of the quote-unquote legends in the game, all right, and some of the biggest stars? And so we got a list of players. Does this win cement him over some of these players? And we have to start with none other than AI, Allen Iverson.
Ooh, Peggy, you going to ruffle some feathers.
All right.
You going to ruffle some feathers. So basically what you're telling me is if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins the NBA championship tonight, does that allow him a skip of likes of Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony, James Harden, Russell Westbrook?
Correct.
I mean, going off of the term, going off of how we identify greats, did you win?
Did you win?
Because Allen Iverson never won an NBA championship.
So just to run down Allen Iverson statistics. MVP in 2001. He played, first of all, let's start with 13 years. All right? 13 years in NBA, 9 All-Stars, 1 MVP, Rookie of the Year. He has been, he had 4 scoring titles. Brought his team to the NBA Finals, but lost against the Lakers. He has a crazy repertoire in stats. He's, the 20K point club. His playoff record was 30-6. So even with AI, I know that's a lot of times people even, he's one of the greats, but they can say but he didn't win. He's still in the Hall of Fame, but he didn't win the big one. With him being an MVP and getting to the NBA championship with that type of repertoire, does SGA just jump over AI?
If you asking me, no.
He doesn't.
No,
Why
he
not?
doesn't. Because you have to answer it in a different facet.
Okay.
When you're labeling somebody great, is it only predicated on how many rings that they won? Think about that.
Okay.
Because you got a situation where you have Russell Westbrook, who has now been on multiple teams.
Yep.
He also has been to the NBA Finals. Also has an MVP award.
Yep. Triple-double. He had a historic triple-double run.
James Harden.
Yeah.
You got or let's change it. When you see a guy like Jalen Hurts,
Okay.
Talk to me. We mentioned him earlier, Dan Marino. Are we putting too much focus on just being able to say, hey, if you win a championship, that automatically propels you and makes you more of a decorated athlete than the guys who may not have had the shrine or the championships, but their impact was felt.
So let me ask you this, and I know we switching from basketball to football. Jalen Hurts. You said something, Jalen Hurts. And we're going to get back to basketball. Now you got Lamar. He won 2 MVPs. Could have won a third one. That was a questionable call this year.
Yes, sir.
He should have won it. If Jalen Hurts would have won MVP and the Super Bowl, does that make him better than Lamar?
Yes.
Now, why is it that, but an Allen Iverson, but a SGA isn't better than an Allen Iverson?
Because when you start thinking about body of work and when you start identifying players who have won MVPs, you don't win an MVP because you're a support player. And dare I disrespect anybody. You're winning an MVP because they're winning because of you.
Correct. Most valuable plate.
You see what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson has proven that the Baltimore Ravens have won games because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they have lost games because of him.
Okay.
That's just the game that we play, right? Now, when you start talking about the whole body of work from its inception to revelation, man, I think it will be hard for people to accept to propel SGA over a guy like Allen Iverson, even a guy like Carmelo Anthony, because you got guys who've played for multiple years. Think about a guy like Tracy McGrady.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like OGs in the game that really like, man, they could go toe-to-toe with anybody. But if SGA wins the championship tonight, you're going to have to put some respect on the name. And you're going to have to be able to bump somebody out the way and say, man, listen, they ain't never won a championship. But it still doesn't stop right there, because SGA can do all this and then fall off the cliff, and then the eyes just like, oh, yeah, that SGA kid.
Yeah, that had a great season.
You see what I'm saying?
And I'm not going to say this, but I have to say this. Same way for Derrick Rose. Injuries. He was supposed to be, he's the next up-and-coming MVP. Balled out. Fell off. Obviously because of the injuries. So when you saying these names, I want to go down a list of names. I'm going to give you a few stats, and you tell me if SGA wins tonight, does he propel over these people? All right. So first off, we have Dwayne Wade, 16 years in the NBA.
No.
Then just I don't even need a running back.
No.
All right. Cool. No. So 3 titles, 1 MVP, 1 Finals MVP. Dwayne Wade. He's still gonna be over Shea. Next up, we got James Harden, 1 MVP, 3 scoring titles.
Yes.
10 All-Stars. So SGA would be more valuable than James Harden. He'll be
more of a decorated athlete
than
more of a decorated basketball player than that person.
Okay, than James Harden. All right. Next, we have Russell Westbrook, 1 NBA MVP. Like I said, he had a historic triple-double, historic run, 2 scoring titles, 3 assist titles. He made it deep in the playoffs, never came up.
I would say, and it hurts me to say it, but yes. And I rock with Russ. But if we're going off of body of work, and granted, Russ been doing this for a long time.
25K.
But if we're comparing impact, because when I think about SGA, there's nothing glaring that he's just a fundamentalist.
Yeah.
He's a mid-grade assassin.
Yeah.
He just does everything right, and the boy is composed. He ain't like, bro, you just dropped 40, you just dropped 30, and he's just so composed at the line. He gonna go to the line.
Yeah.
And we're watching the NBA Finals of what they said to be 2 teams that have nobody. You dig what I'm saying?
Well, yes, they don't have a strong
they don't have personality. That's what I mean about nobody. That's not to say that they don't have talent.
Ballers,
and dare I say nobodies. I mean, let me reword that. This is an NBA Finals that we've seen both teams not have no personality.
Big branding.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got the MVP, the league's MVP in SGA going against Halliburton.
What the hell?
And we talk more about Halliburton's extras, dad, girlfriend, more than
game-winning shots in some places.
Yeah, but it's that also has matched. You know how much we talk about him as well too.
For sure.
So dare I not mention those glaring, points, but when you compare just the whole body, it's a little too early to crown SGA. Not to say that we're seeing greatness or we're witnessing greatness right before our eyes.
So Westbrook, is he over or under?
He'll be over Westbrook.
Okay. All right, we already talked about AI. AI will still reign supreme.
Yes, because now the AI, and this is what you have to think about too. AI changed the game culturally.
Okay. That
I don't think, too many athletes will be able to do. Now, going back to SGA, unlike like a Steph Curry, like, bro, this dude is even with Derrick Rose, like Derrick Rose was so explosive. Russell Westbrook was so explosive. James Harden was just a scoring assassin. Like all these different Carmelo, like Bro. T-Mac. Who else you got?
So we got Melo. Speaking of the Melo fellow, no MVPs, no finals. I mean, he has a couple of, gold medals. Very strong career in regards to scoring. Does he?
Yes.
He trumps Melo.
Yes.
If he wins tonight.
Yes.
Wow. And then as you have, SGA with his current stats, he was number one in the NBA with 32.7 points this season.
And let me put a disclaimer out there too, bro. Like I know nothing about basketball just from a typical fan. But if we're going off of the narrative that
the hardware,
winning rings supersedes everything. And here's a list of players who have been extremely impactful with their talent that they brought to the game of basketball. But as I've always said, sports has so many different determining factors, and it's not just to be gauged off of the rings that you amass. You see what I'm saying? Because you could be one of those guys on the team that be like, oh, you won a championship with that team? You was just a guy.
Yeah.
Or you could take the road like a Carmelo who's like, bro, like he's been in them games or was extremely close. You see a guy like AI who had one of the most impactful step overs.
Oh my goodness. Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And it's just the luck of the draw. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to be a Steph Curry. Everybody's not going to be a LeBron James. Everybody's not going to be a Tom Brady, bro. So when questions are asked back to me, and I remember Stephen A. asked me, is like, would I trade in my MVP for a Super Bowl? And it goes back to, no, I wouldn't.
Because your impact of the game.
The impact. You got to think about the impact, bro. And you ask other players like Carmelo, like Tracy McGrady, like those guys, or like AI.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, his impact is undeniable.
But it's a little bit different with SJ because his impact shows with an MVP.
That's for sure. That's cool. And he's still young.
Because even if you're doing that, I mean, not even to change it up, but like a Jokic.
Same thing.
Multiple MVPs, championships.
There's no denying his greatness, bro. He has everything to put him in an argument with anybody. Big man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not like a Shaq, because Shaq was extremely dominant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But how many times as fans are we shunning an up-and-comer who can go toe-to-toe with statistics and accolades because of our respect or the impact that somebody had on our life?
Yeah.
We see it all the time with Michael Jordan.
Yeah. How dare you say?
There's so many kids having arguments now, so many guys and gals having arguments now that has never even seen Michael Jordan even play live.
Yeah.
But it was what others said and spoke of his greatness. You know what I'm saying?
The same will be for LeBron.
The same will be for LeBron.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that. Our respect for somebody could never allow somebody to supersede how they made them feel and how much of a fan that they actually were to that player. Yeah. So when you're saying AI, will AI's greatness be superseded instantly by SGA? A lot of guys will say like, nah, bro, AI was yeah. But you keep going down that list and they'll be like, man, hold on. Are we putting too much on hardware over impact?
Shall see. The game will be good. And you know the conversation is going to be brewing.
Oh, for sure.
Where does he stack in history of the best players?
Ooh, I like how you did that.
Yeah.
As we end things here at 4th and 1, let's end it with one finger. Hey. I said one finger. Can't forget the pinky, and the thumb. All together.
One love.
You dig.
And that's our wrap.
Woo!